depending on the time and your location where you're joining us today for our first time management free masterclass for parents, students, and professionals. My name is Amarachi. I'm super excited to have you all here for our a free time management masterclass titled Master Your Day, a practical guide to time management. Will be blame Amarachi, your time management and etiquette host, powered by Timely and Refined with Amara. If you're for kids, no matter what you are doing, you can get amazing videos that will help you. We should have hosted this live section today on this free time management masterclass. Remember, you can always reach out to me if you have any questions, or if you want us to have a personal one-on-one sections or group section on time management. The masterclass models. The first model, we are going to be looking into the art of prioritization. The model two will be overcoming procrastinations. Model three will be creating a daily routine that sticks. And model four will be tools and strategies for long-term success, because it's one thing to understand time management, it's another thing to have tools and strategies that will help you to have a long-term success and you being able to avoid stress and manage your time very well as a person. So let's dive into the first model. The art of prioritization. Prioritization, like I wrote in here, is fundamentally about the distinguishing between what is urgent and important according to Louis D. Eisenhower. It's about making a planned decision rather than reacting to unforeseen circumstances. There are various styles in Eisenhower matrix. One is the APCDE, and that other is also the D for mnemonic. The other is also the D for mnemonic, time management, and also tasks, and urgent tasks that requires you to carry them out immediately. I hope you can see my screen from your end. The B is the important but not urgent tasks. Here, the tasks are important but are not urgent, which means you can these are tasks you can assign to members, which means it's not necessarily important that you're going to be the one to carry out. You can do it later in the day because they are not so urgent, but they are also important that you carry them out. Then the C is the nice to do task. There are tasks that are very good for you to carry them out, but you can choose to do them, or you can also choose not to do them. Example is you bringing up time for leisure. Maybe you want to go and hang out. Maybe you want to visit a beautiful restaurant in town. There are nice tasks you can do. Of course, there are tasks because there are things you have to do within your time schedule and something that could be very, very beneficial to you. But you can choose to do them at another time and also choose not to go about them. You can choose to, instead of going out to go and eat at that fancy restaurant, you can choose to prepare the food at home for yourself. Maybe because of load of tasks you have within yourself. Then the D is the delegating task. This is the particular technique I think and I believe that most CEOs, most organizations, and most founders need, because you are not going to be the founder of an organization and you're going to be the one to carry out every task you have in your organization. You should be able to delegate some certain tasks to some individuals in your teams who are going to also carry out this particular task without having any issues. Still, you have to carry out the ones you have to do to make sure things are running smoothly well in the office. Because if you do everything yourself, believe in me, you're going to be so stressed out and you are going to be worn out. And who doesn't want to live happily and healthy? You need to have team members, delegate the tasks to them, and do the ones you can do for yourself. And the E is eliminating that these tasks are not so important. Yeah. They're not so important and relevant at the moment. You can just eliminate them and focus more on the things that are most important at the time. When you're done with those ones, then you can go back to them and do them. This is the first model, and this is the application of the ABCDE particular types techniques for prioritization. Let's move into the next technique. The application of the D4 mnemonic. The D one is do, which is These are important and most do tasks and are most often urgently needed, just like the one we discussed. The D to decide. Here, your decision to carry out these tasks of importance. Here, your decision to carry out the task is of great importance as you can decide to do it or leave it. Then the D3, like we discussed in the former one, is for delegation. You can, in this type of task, you are required to delegate a capable hand that you know can carry them out. This is to enable you focus on the important ones that needs you to do by yourself. Then the D4, which is the delete. These texts can be deleted as they are not important at the moment unless it is something you can carry out on your own later on. You see, with this D for mnemonic, you can carry out your tasks, you can prioritize effectively well because these are very, very important time management techniques you can use for prioritization. The ones you have to do immediately, like the D1, you do it. The one that needs you to decide on to do them or not to do them, you decide. The one you need you to delegate in order to have time for yourself and focus on the most important things, you will delegate them. Then the ones that are not important, you delete them. Unless it's something you can do and carry out maybe later time when you have the opportunity. But if not, delete them and focus on the most important thing. There is something that will make you to become more productive and prioritize effectively well. Let's move into the second model. Sorry, instead of the first model, here we have the tips for better prioritization. Avoid multitasking. That is the first thing. If you want to prioritize effectively well, then you must avoid multitasking. Learn to say no effectively. That's number two. Cultivate a growth mindset and use your most effective prioritization techniques. Now, it is in you understanding the better ways or the prioritization tips that you need that will help you to prioritize effectively. But like I said here, do not multitask if you do not have the strength. I've made a video on my handle on YouTube. Sorry, on YouTube. That I'm timely identifying with Amara on YouTube and also on my hand, Baby William Amarachi, on Facebook and on Instagram and all that. I've made videos on how to avoid multitasking. You can go and watch it out. You need to avoid multitasking if you know your strength is not in that. Focus on single tasking. Learn to say no effectively. You see, people are not going to be happy that you're saying no, but for your own good, you must learn to say no because this is one way you can be able to prioritize effectively well because you need to get time for yourself. Cultivate a growth mindset. If your mindset is one that is focused on growth, on multiplication, on possibilities, and not a fixed mindset, trust me, it's one tip and it's one way you can prioritize. Then make sure you use effective prioritization techniques that works for you. Is it the D4 or the ABCDE principle? Which one works effectively for you more? Focus on that and use it to make sure you prioritize well. Now I have a question for us. What is your biggest prioritization technique? Sorry, what is your biggest prioritization challenge? What is it? Let me know in the comment section. I'm going to reply you and I'm going to give you tips on how you can overcome them. So let's move on. The model 2, overcoming prioritization. There are psychological reasons for most prioritizations. You know, prioritization doesn't just happen. There are psychological reasons behind them. And that is what we are going to look on. The first is the fear of failure. Most people always push their tasks to the next month, to the next day, to the next year because they are afraid of failure. It's not badly being a perfectionist, and not people have that temperament. Some people this is their strength, they're perfectionists, but you making everything to be step, that's one like, that's one goal, that one particular goal you have, just give it a trial. Don't just wait to be ready because they're going to come. If you keep procrastinating because you are going to be facing criticisms, then you're not ready. You will see other people that desire to change things around the world, around the globe. What is that? What is motivating you to achieve that stance is one thing that will also help you to overcome procrastination. Health implications. If there's none, then go and do what you're supposed to do. low self-esteem. Most people are always in this constant procrastination because of you are not good enough. Even when people are telling you are not good enough, you are going to tell yourself, I am Marachi, I'm good enough, I can carry out these tasks and nothing is going to hinder me. Lack lack of growth. It is only those who overcome procrastination that will grow. Tell me how a CEO who's supposed to carry out a particular project that will gain him or her millions of dollars will grow in the next coming 5 years if he or she keep procrastinating of that particular project or task because he or she feels that he is not good enough to carry out that task, or because he is just procrastinating to be perfect before you carry out that particular task. You keep losing money and you will not grow when others are growing. Now, let's look into the two other simple ways to break procrastination. One is to use the 5 minutes rules, portioning 5 minutes each and resting with only 1 minute. Give yourself 5 minutes, achieve a task, rest for 1 minute, then go back and achieve the next task. Use the Pomodoro principle, breaking tasks into actionable tasks. In this way, body, just like we are dealing with parents, professionals, entrepreneurs, and lots more. What are the benefits for creating a daily routine that sticks with you? First is for parents, smoother mornings with kids. If you have a scheduled routine in the morning that you wake up by 4 a.m., you prepare yesterday prayers with the kids, you prepare them by taking their bed first, or just allowing them to get their things ready while you cook, prepare their meals, or you just bed them for before giving them. Then anyhow you choose to assemble your tasks for the day, making it your daily routine, and you stick by it, you will have a better, smoother mornings with the kids. They will not going to be stressing you. I know kids will always be kids, of course, they're always going to be kids, but if you give yourself smooth routine and stick with it, it will be easier. Even if they are going to stress, the next thing is to go and brush their teeth. They already know it's only going to become part of them. But when you are not making sure that this thing becomes part of them, you're not creating this routine and it's not going to become part of them. They're not learning how to move a business forward. But when you don't have a daily routine that you follow, how you eat in the morning, the time you go to work, the time you come back from work, how you eat in the morning, the time you go to work, the time you come back from work, how you respond to customers, how you delegate tasks to your team members, it becomes problem. Building a routine in 3 steps. Let's begin the routine in 3 steps. Identify your peak productivity hour. Is it in the morning, late night, evening, or middle of the day? Everybody has their own routine time, their own peak productivity hours. Mine is most ideas comes and flows in my head when it's midnight, late night. I have more chances of getting new ideas and strategies than morning or afternoon period of time. So identify your own peak hour and your peak time. Use batching for repetitive tasks. If you have tasks that you're going to repeat for a day, batch them together. If for myself now, for example, I know that every morning, every day, I have to check my email, I have to check my social media handles, all my social media handles, I'm going to check them out to see what is going on in there. I batch them all together. Once it's that morning, 8 a.m., that I'm going to check my social media handle. I'm going to So once I've built it that way, I'm sorry about the break, it was network issue. So once I built it that way, I will now focus on how I'm going to be doing other things. Then number three is allocate buffer times for unforeseen events. Sometimes you may not be able to carry out everything the way you plan it because we are human beings and things happen. So allocate buffer times for unforeseen events. You can also break it down in the morning, afternoon, night, daily or weekly. A well structured routine is your secret weapon for success. I'll tell you this today, tomorrow, and every other time. Let's look into the success. One is some helpful time management tools include Google Calendar, Trello, and to-do lists. As you can see, this is Trello. It's a project management app that you can use to manage your time effectively well. You can download it and use it. The number two is the 80/20 rule in action, identifying the 20% of tasks that brings 80% of results. This way, you can actually manage your time well. And it's also a tool that it's a strategy you can use to manage your time. You can identify the 80/20% rule in action, that is the 20% tasks that will bring out the 80% results you are looking at for. Examples: parents prioritizing quality time ensure she carry out what we have to do for the day. It is one thing that's going to make them to go to school early. You know, this is a very good strategy you can use with your kids. For entrepreneurs, focusing on high revenue activities and also to and something that's also going to make you to achieve a longer term success that you desire. Then for students, concentrating on high impact study areas. We are the study area that needs you to concentrate more, which is going to make you to pass your exams more. Is it the practical aspect? Is it the theory aspect? Is it the objective? And how is your study like? Do you understand the way lecturers study their questions? Do they give you theory questions on the side in between, like for some lecturers? How do you think they ask you their question? Is it past questions? If it is past question, then you need to focus more on that. Concentrate on that because it's what is going to give you the A's you desire. But when you focus on the not important things or the areas that you don't need to study so much on, it becomes a problem because you are not prioritizing well and you are not focusing rightly. Now, this brings us to the end. Congratulations on this new win and wish you success as you manage your time effectively well. Don't forget, you can always reach me via my WhatsApp line 09017372482 or email me at thegreatamarachuku@gmail.com. Get a discount sale of my new course on time management and ebook via this link on Seller. And you can also reach out to me if you have any issue with the seller link to make sure you get what you are looking at for. Until then, I hope to see us again. Remember, if you have any questions, you can always let me know in the comment section. It was really nice to have you all. Thank you all for joining in here for a masterclass on time management.